Well, right before we delve into our conversation, just so you know, it's the end of the month, right? Well, VAT returns are due for submission on the last day of the month. Do submit your VAT returns. Failure to do so attracts a penalty. And rent to own a 2, 3, or 4 bedroom house or beachfront villa in the new Accra city. Cities and Habitats rent to own at a price you can afford and at a pace you can pay. All you have to do, visit this website, www.newaccra.city for more details, or call or WhatsApp 0555 530 300 or 0577 911 101 or 0557 054 635. The Planned Cities Extension Project, shaping Ghana's urban future. Now that we've got that out of the way, how about we do some politics, internal politics within the New Patriotic Party? Well, quite a number of them have been here, and today we're pleased to bring you Michael Omari Wadie, who is first vice chair of the NPP, and he's contesting for that same slot. Mr. Wadie, a very good morning to you. Thank you for joining the conversation. I can hear some sounds in the background, but Michael Omari Wadie is the acting, or the substantive, I should say, first vice chairman of the party. We all know that Freddie Blay, as chairman, is stepping down and others are gunning for his position, but they have a number of vice chair people. And in this instance, the first vice chair is joining us for a conversation this morning. We'll be asking him about what his policies are, his plans for the party going into election 2024, should he be giving the nod. We'll also be talking about money and politics. It appears all of them who have come here have spoken about the influence of money. In fact, yesterday, interacting with Bright Esilfi Kumi, he made mention of the fact that he had spent 5 million Ghana cedis, north of 5 million Ghana cedis, just contesting, among other things, doing other things within the party, but also contesting for the national organizer position. Now, if it's this expensive to get internal, positions within these political parties, then it paints quite a picture, doesn't it, about our democratic practice and about how expensive it has become to get these slots. And what would that translate into when they become national officers and should their party win an election? So we'll be deliberating on all of these matters. Do we have Mr. Wadie now? All right. Mr. Wadie, a very good morning to you, sir. Hello, Mr. Wadie. All right, so we're going to try to reconnect with him. He joins us via Zoom. In the meantime, we know that the party has given the nod to just about 48, 49 of those aspirants for the New Patriotic Party. Some 3 of them were not qualified. They were disqualified, so to speak, by the national body. Well, thank you for staying. Let's do this one more time. Michael Omari Wadie, first vice chair of the NPP, joins the conversation. Mr. Wadie, a very good morning to you, sir.
Yeah, good morning, my brother.
It's a pleasure having you join the conversation, bar the technical hitches, but let's make the most of the time. I'll start with you by looking at latest developments, even before we get into what you mean to do as far as the NPP is concerned. Let's talk demonstrations. You've seen the Arise Ghana demonstration days 1 and 2. What is your quick reflection on that?
Well, it's our right to demonstrate. As citizens, we have organized several demonstrations while we were in opposition. So it is their right. They can do whatever they want to do. But the good people of Ghana know what is up. It isn't like government is not ready or willing to help or save the situation. It is a national, international situation or crisis that we are all trying to deal with. And if this is the way you want to go, yes, propaganda exists, but propaganda don't win elections. Fortunately, unfortunately, they have the field day. We are out on the field campaigning, and but soon the next 2 weeks will be done, and then we'll come and tell them what the situation really is if they don't know. I've heard President Mahama argue that
All right, we seem to have lost the connection to Michael Omari Wadie. If this persists, maybe we'll just try to have him on a phone conversation just to cut off any internet challenges. Mr. Wadie, if you can hear me, please go ahead.
Yes, I've heard the former President Mahama argue that the situation is not about COVID, nor is it about Ukraine. And that straight forward tells me that he does not know what he wants to come and work with. If the former president does not know that Ukraine has influence on him, if the former president does not know that Russia and COVID has some effect or influence on whatever is going on here, and he has no business coming to contest because he will fail. If you are not understanding the question, you can never have a solution to it. And that's what I tell him and those he is sponsoring to conduct these demonstrations.
Are you suggesting, so two things. I don't think the former president or anyone else has suggested that what is happening in Russia and Ukraine and COVID-19 have had no impact. I don't think anyone has said that. But he is saying that there has been economic mismanagement, which is why we're feeling the shocks in that regard. And are you also suggesting that all of those who are demonstrating have been sponsored by the former president to hit the streets and do this?
Oh, but somebody obviously sponsored this program. And we know. I mean, you cannot organize a program like this without resources.
We have the former, chairman of the PMC, Bernard Mona, in there. We have people from different walks of life in there. You think all of that was sponsored by the former president?
Bernard Mona is my brother. Ask him where he gets his salary from. We know. Ask him where he gets his pay
where does he get his salary from?
Obviously, from the former president's house.
I see. And you have evidence. And you have
where he gets them from.
These are serious allegations. And you have evidence of this?
I said he's my brother. What are you talking about? Ask him. He cannot deny that. There are several meetings he has been attending, has been going with in the former president's household.
So you're suggesting that while we cannot independently verify this, and so we cannot stick to that, but you're suggesting that if he's had meetings in the former president's house, it means he's on the take?
No, I don't think you are suggesting that Bernard Mona sponsored this program. I don't think that's why you tell me saying.
No, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying that it doesn't mean that if he's been, let's say, at the former president's residence, it means that he's on the take.
NDC big wigs there. Come again?
I mean, are you suggesting that if he's paid a visit to the former president, then it means he's taking something from him?
I don't think I am contesting for national third vice chairman. If I'm seen with the former president all the time, I don't think I will win these elections. My party people will know the truth and they'll vote against me. In the same way, they say, show me your friend and I'll show you your character. Bernard Mona, as I know, is always in the house with the family of the former president. And we know where the funding for this program came from. We know the organizers, and we talk with them. I mean, we have friends outside. They can go and mess or get all this messy thing out there, but we are friends.
So do share with us. So you're saying basically that the sponsorship for this event.
Bernard Mona is even. I didn't say it's a friend. I say it's my brother.
Right. So beyond Bernard Mona, you're saying that the former president sponsored this demonstration, and so it was politically skewed from the start.
Obviously, if you look at the political figures present in this demonstration, nobody should tell you where the funding came from. Nobody should tell you who were the sponsors.
Okay. But looking at the state of our economy, right before we start with you, the people were protesting the state of the economy. They say they can't buy pads. People say, look, a few years ago, the 3 cedi something that we were getting a gallon of fuel for. Now, plus, now that is what we were expending on a gallon of fuel. About 13 cedis is what we're expending now for a liter of fuel, among other economic challenges. On the back of that, some people have said we should go the way of the IMF, that there's no shame in it. Professors of economics, a lot of people. This morning, I interacted with Dr. Abu Sakara Foster, who said, go the way of the IMF. I mean, if that is going to resolve matters. What is your take on that?
You should have asked the intention, the idea behind they go asking or requesting government to go IMF. I mean, we have been to
save the economy.
We have been to IMF and back, and I'm surprised that people who really truly appreciate their current situation and no shame will still be asking us to go to IMF. Hello.
Yes, I can hear you. I'm listening to you. Mr. Wadie, can you hear me?
Hello, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Mr. Wadie, can you hear me? Hello, Mr. Wadie. Hello? All right, we'll try to, it appears this morning, technology is giving us a tough time, but we shall continue with this interview and get the thrust of what Mr. Omari Wadie is saying. But so far, some very interesting things he is saying. He is saying that the Arise Ghana demonstration, I mean, you don't need to be a soothsayer to know it, that it was sponsored by former President John Dramani Mahama. He said that categorically, that the opposition is behind it, and that even the lead for that event, that demonstration, Bernard Mona, is on the take from the former president. Allegations that I've asked him to substantiate. We don't stand by that, but he is stating them. And so I'm just repeating what he has said. And he says he stands by those allegations and that he has the evidence. He says Bernard Mona is a friend and he knows he's on the take. Well, that's according to Michael Omari Wadie. Mr. Wadie, thank you for joining the conversation once more. You were making a point. Please go ahead now as you join us via phone.
Yes, like I was saying, when it comes to management of the economy, which everybody agrees and admits that we have issues, and everybody who understands economy knows that the system is not originally from Ghana. It has an international dimension. Knows that, yes, we have a challenge. But for somebody to keep suggesting that we should go to IMF, I have a problem. How long are we going to be running to IMF? Why can't we look for homegrown solutions? Why can't we encourage ourselves to produce more for export and expand our economy? Why should we always run to these IMF people to dictate to us? I get worried. Is that the only solution we can think of as people? Where is the pride in us as Africans, the pride in us as Ghanaians? We can do everything by ourselves. And let's try and encourage and promote homegrown solutions for our situation.
Mr. Wadie, I'm sorry to interject, but the homegrown solutions, one of them was the e-levy. The e-levy, from all what we know, per research from Imani Africa, per what we've seen, some of the figures in interacting with EMI, for example, and even what Gabi Asariotridako recently posted, that we're getting about 10% of what we expected. Listen, the e-levy, for example, was not going to be what would shore up our economy or prevent us from going to the IMF. And even that is woefully underperforming per what we've seen. We've not heard from the central bank. But if you say that, look, homegrown policies, we simply don't have the funding. We don't have it. The Eurobond market is not one that we can tap into at this point for the sums of money we need. Some say we need upwards of $4 billion. The only place we can get that is the IMF. Is it not rational for us to go to the IMF?
You can decide, depending on your situation, you do whatever you think will be comfortable with. So what is the long-term effect, the short-term effect of whatever you want to do or whatever you are doing? That's what we should be looking at. You said our homegrown solution was e-levy. That is not the final solution. It was part of. So if even it's not generating the revenue that we were asking or talking about, there are other opportunities and avenues that we can explore as people. But where people always choose to go the lazy way, the lazy man's approach, and run to IMF so that they can come in, that I don't subscribe. I think I have enough respect for my country and myself that we should always we should so do some things that will let the whole world see us as serious people, not always running, messing ourselves up. We come for rescue and then we come back for. It is not good. It is not good for you and I as citizens. Me, I feel I'll be very ashamed if my father is always running to death and then the police or the people come harassing and they say we should stop education, we should stop school because our father don't have, and he keeps running into debt. I think we should move away from that. We should consider, stop the politics, stop the propaganda, look at the proper way of resolving our situation. I think that will help us. Instead of people, learned people coming forward, always encouraging or asking government to go or run to IMF. I don't subscribe to that. There are better ways. They should come up with better proposals. They have learned. They are professors. They are lecturers. We know them. Let's do proper research and come up with solutions that will help our nation. But their prescription are always asking us to go to IMF. I think I have a problem. If it's production that we need to increase, which sector? If it's whatever we need to do. And I believe the solution is here in Ghana. If we stop this politicization of everything and start looking for solutions, I will tell you, we will get there.
Okay.
I am just I'm here in the Bono East region. Yesterday I met some people, we are out of Accra, and they were saying, what are they saying in Accra? That petrol has gone up, so they should reduce. And they were advising government, if they want to reduce anything, the first thing they should reduce is fertilizer. They should subsidize that one. That will increase production. And I said, wow, I didn't know farmers these days are also that. I mean, you are asking that we should reduce petrol so that you rich people in Accra can enjoy. You are not thinking of the poor people in the villages, those in the communities who are producing.
But the poor people in the villages that you speak of who are asking for a reduction in fuel prices are also faced by the fuel problem. The fact that some may not highlight that, they may highlight fertilizer because they are farmers, does not mean the fuel prices are okay for them. You realize that, right?
That's what I'm saying. They were even angry for people in Accra complaining about fuel price when they know that if the price of fuel go down, they will need food to eat. Instead of they talking about fertilizer and talking about improving our food production.
Right.
You are talking in Accra about fuel, which doesn't affect directly the poor people in the villages. I mean, I don't know whether you get what I mean.
I get your point.
You are there in Accra demonstration, burning ties, while the true poor people, the people who were demonstrating, they all went in their V8 and their truck, and then went there to go and deposit. You see, a hungry man can go and protest and run away, run like they were doing. They were not hungry. I saw the vehicles they parked in corners and came there. I have done demonstrations before. It is pure propaganda. Let's put the propaganda aside and start working and start looking for solutions and start helping our people.
Okay.
That is what we should be focusing on.
All right.
This propaganda thing that we are always embarking on and then complaining about situations in Accra when you don't come to the... I'm going around. I'm seeing roads and people appreciate it. The problem in the rural communities is the fertilizer, those farmers.
All right, so
if they don't have anything to do, they should add that one will bring up production of food, so that if they are hungry, they are talking of somebody standing by me says we decide. That's what they did.
Okay, let's move the conversation forward. Let's focus on you. But interesting points. Michael Omari Wadie says. He says those who went for the demonstration were going in their V8s and trotros and the others, and if you hadn't eaten, you wouldn't be able to hit the streets. And someone who hadn't eaten, would they be able to run the way some of the demonstrators did? Interesting points there. But let's talk about the state of leadership in the MPP currently. What do you see when you look at the leaders, from the chairman to, the organizers in the MPP? What is the state of leadership currently that you see? Because there have been some of your own contenders, the the national organizer, hopeful, Bright Kumi. He was here yesterday. He says there are serious problems with some of you, the leadership. When Musa Superior came here, he said your leadership needs to be changed, that you are not living up to expectation. He points to your national office, for example, right in this enclave, and he says it is an eyesore, so to speak, that as a party you have what you do when the opposition is where they are. How do you react? What is the state of leadership in the MPP?
But what do you expect from somebody who wants to come to power? Somebody who wants to win election. Sometimes you just have to go and do bad mouthing about people. And I will advise them, they should rather come and tell people what they will do. I mean, don't go there. You see, when you do politics like that, I have a different view of people who talk like that.
So these people have policies. Bright Kumi came yesterday. He has his Mocha movement for change and all of that. But they are also saying that he says some of you are not performing. Musa Superior says you guys have not performed.
I can go the same way and look at what they are doing in their current situations and positions. I'm going around the country, and I am hearing so many things from the outfit of some of the people contesting. And I don't want to be involved in that attack. I mean, it is not good for our body politics. If you care about the party, you will not go chastising and insulting and undermining people. Because anybody you talk about can win the election.
Right.
And if you go bad mouthing that person and he wins, do you go and work with the person or serve with the person? And do you think you have to put the trust that the people require to get us the victory 2024 that we're talking about will come about? Yes. So let them be circumspect in what they do, what they say, when they are prescribing solutions abound, but there are several ways. I put my old friend of killing a cat. You can have a good or better or proposal, but come forward with it. But don't go attacking that people did not perform. When you say people did not perform, what are you talking about?
So for you, as far as the current leadership is concerned, you have performed. There are some who say you've not even been able to, put to the people what the MPP has really done, that you failed in terms of communications, that some of your leaders have become arrogant and they are not doing the right things. What is your reaction to that?
I can say the people who are saying that do not know what they are talking about. They don't understand the role they themselves are supposed to play as party people. Leadership are just supposed to give directives and direction. The real performance are done at the polling stations, the constituencies, and the region. We only monitor, we look at the situation on the ground, put them together, and prescribe solutions. And if they themselves, I don't know who you are trying to suggest that, but like if I want to go individual, I'll be mentioning and looking at the track record and performance of all these people who are making allegations. But I can tell you what we have done as national, most of it has never happened before. And we expect the same thing to roll out to the regions and to the constituencies. And let them make all the allegations. We know the party on the ground, the true party officers, those who understand politics, the meaning of what we do, and what it is to resource constituencies for constituencies to perform means. They know. And yes, I can say that we are all, as a human institution, you cannot say we are 100%, but we did a lot. And people expect, I have heard people argue that we are not putting a tax of chasing or insisting on government doing the right thing. We are not hammering, and then we should get the president to do a reshuffle and all that. I have heard, I'm going around, I'm listening. And the people give us the feedback, what they are saying, that the government party is supposed to force government to do. How are you going to force government? The party, the Constitution of Ghana gives the power to the president. And he gives the party a prerogative. He can invite parties to cabinet or come and sit. And yes, we can force him. We can talk to him. But we don't have to even come outside and go the Afoko way. I say the Afoko way you mean. We discuss a lot in chambers. But if we are matured in politics, you don't come and put it outside and say, hey, this is what the president said, this is what the president said. We would not do that. We will not do that. If that is what they want to come and do, then sorry. I don't think that is what will help us break the 8.
All right.
That's what, yes. If that is how they want to come and govern or rule or manage the political party, that everything that happens in inside our meetings will come on air, then I am sorry. People should not bother considering breaking the 8. If they'll say that people who they want.
Let's talk about
that we have to discuss indoor, plan indoor, and execute out there. But if you are telling me that you want to come outside, you want to tell the whole world about situations in within the core party, meetings that we have at the national level with the president and the vice president and the chief of staff. We want us to come and put together. Then I'm sorry. If that is what you want, so that people will know you are working, then I am sorry. You are not coming to help the party.
Let's talk about
for yourself personal. Yes?
Mr. Wadie, let's look at the currency of money, and that's just a play on words when it comes to your internal party elections, right from the polling station executive elections coming up to the regional elections. There's been a lot of talk about people buying their way through. It's almost as though the highest bidder were the one who would get the slot every time. Yesterday, Bryce Kumi was here, national organizer hopeful, and he said, well, in many ways, it's becoming an auction rather than an election. Is that what is happening in the MPP? Because we've heard, even when they came to the regional elections, people were doling out 10,000 cedis, 5,000 cedis, 1,000 cedis. I'll give you a car, I'll give you scholarships and all of that in order to secure votes. Is that the reality?
Well, I have not had that. Our elections is yet to come on next month. And I'm yet to see what you are talking about. Currently, I'm in the field campaigning and talking to people. But what you are talking about is sometimes, I am going around the country. I'm doing door-to-door campaign, going to constituency by constituency. And sometimes you go to them and there's no water. You buy water. You go to them. You cannot walk to their constituency. You have to drive around. You buy fuel. And those expenses are anticipated. And if you think that is those who cannot buy fuel for their car cannot go around, so those who have money to buy fuel.
Are you denying that for delegates, and I'm speaking specifically about delegates here, that money exchanges hands sometimes to get people to vote a certain way? I mean, Sir John of blessed memory did say fear delegates on the back of some of these very things.
If you know you are doing the right thing, you don't fear them. If you know you have done a form, if you know you have campaigned, if you know what it is to campaign, if you know you are able to win the heart, you don't need to pay that much. Those who go that way are those who can't perform. The only way delegates will vote for them is by paying them money. And then after paying them money, they just use them and dump them. I believe in performance. And let people know what you have done and what you intend doing. And the long-term benefit or effect of what you will do. But just going to give people money to vote for you means you are just paying your way up. And I tell delegates that those people, they should be wary of. They only they take their pay upfront, and they don't come and perform.
Right.
Yes. Some people, yes, everybody have a motive of giving if you see somebody and you dash the person money, if it's a woman, sometimes that's a picture. But sometimes you have some motive behind the money you are doling out to that person. That intention for it varies from person to person. And I am of the view that, yes, politics is getting expensive. I know. Going around, I buy fuel.
So you say politics is very expensive. Let's just stick to that for a while. Yesterday, Bryce Kumi, gunning for national organizer position, said he had spent upwards of 5 million. How much have you spent so far in this campaign?
5 million Ghana cedis or 5 million cedis?
5 million Ghana cedis.
Who is he paying? What is he using that money for?
Well, he says, he has a movement for change, for example, within the party, mobilizing people for the breaking the 8 bid and among other things. And he says moving around the country, he spent over 5 million Ghana cedis. How much have you spent?
Are you saying that he He's content for youth organizer.
National organizer, yes.
And then he has already spent 5 million. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, I'm saying that as gunning for national organizer, he says, among other things that he's done for the party, he spent upwards of north of 5 million Ghana cedis. And I'm asking, how much have you spent?
It's not just about the campaigning he's embarking on now. Okay, I get it. Then that man, he might have spent it for a good cause. But if you are telling me, going around, you have spent 5 million, then, we have 275 constituents, and you divide 275 constituents by 5 million, then everybody should be riding a car by now. I don't know whether that's what he meant. I don't think it will cost that much. Yes, it's expensive too, but it depends on what you want to do.
So how expensive is it? How much have you spent in campaigning, especially as the elections are this close?
I'll just have to put my, because I receive donations and gifts from friends.
You receive donations from where?
From friends and gifts from friends, and that's what is keeping me going. I have to sit down and do the breakdown, look at how much so far I have received. If you want to make any donation, my brother, do now. Because when your brother is
I'm sure you would have at least an approximate in your head. These donations. So let's focus on the donations. How much have you got by way of donation?
No, after at least going around, at least daily, you need to buy fuel of about 1,000 Ghana cedis every day. The people driving you, the people you are going around with, you have to eat and sleep. That alone you can do the math, and you see how much that is. And then when you go and organize, you have to rent chairs or tables. You have to buy water and all that. And there are 275 concerts. So you can budget. If it's 500 per concert, if it's 1,000 per concert, you will decide. If you want to even spend 100,000 per concert, you just multiply it and you go and spend, if you have. But if you are like me, who depend on friends and family for campaigning, you only have to. That's why sometimes we work harder. I mean, you see us always tired, working hard, because we know that it is the hard work that will pay, not looking for the money that we will pay. And I don't believe in paying money to get position. I believe in working hard, because that is what will generate the results, and that's what people seek. And that's what I've been involved in now.
So your campaign is being run by family and friends. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, I'm saying donations. I mean, you are my friend. If you donate to me, I cannot reject it. That's why I'm even appealing to you. And I appeal to your friends too, to come and support our campaign for a good cause. Ghana will do well. When you, with the little support you give, another one will give. You see the Obama thing. As long as little as it is, just forward something to my WhatsApp, friends, Momo, this time Momo, and then put it there. We use it to work for you. And that's what we're relying on. We have some little money saved to do, but the little things that we are receiving, that's what we are managing.
Okay, let's talk about your policies. You've been in this position once already as first vice chairman of the party.
Yeah.
You want to be retained. What are your policies? What is going to change? What more can you do to let the MPP hold on to power, so to speak, to break the 8? What are your policies?
We should look at the party's position, not individual policy. It doesn't work. If I come, I'll do this. If I come, I'll do this. It doesn't work. I have been a constituent. I was once a polling station chairman. I became a ward chairman. Now we call electoral area coordinator. And then I became a constituency chairman. Ayawasu West Ward. I became the chairman of chairman in Greater Accra. I have seen it all. And I know what it takes to work. I have heard stories, issues, analysis, people coming in and suggesting they will make everybody ride it never works. I'm telling you, the policy of the party is to preach.
But whatever policy that comes will necessarily feed into the overall overarching agenda of the party. Is that not? I mean, it stands to reason.
The agenda of the party is to win elections. It's period. The party was formed to win elections, but after winning the elections, what follows? What do we do to make sure we stay in power and break the 8? That is what we should be looking at. But if I come, I'll make you rich.
So what are you going to do to help the party break the 8? That's the question.
Breaking the eight requires uniting the front of the party. Breaking the eight requires bringing everybody together. Breaking the eight requires that we all work and work extra. Breaking the eight means the government must perform and live up to the expectations of the good people of Ghana. And it's not just one approach. There are several ways and there's several things that we need to do. Every party member must play his part. Citizens must play their part. Party supporters, party followers, party faithfuls must also play their part. And it is not a one way approach. Multifaceted approach that we need to adopt to win. I know exactly what to do. I know exactly what we can do. And I know.
Can you share with us what you're going to do feeding into that agenda?
You want me to give to my opponents, the people who are...
But your opponents, some of those who have come to sit here, have told us exactly what they're going to do.
They are not
what does it take away from you if you share with us that you're going to do X, Y, and Z?
Some of the things you don't put out there. I've been listening and monitoring some of them, and I wonder how they can be at the national office with this attitude, where you can't know what to put out there in the public and what to keep in your head. Sometimes I monitor some of them overexposing their, I wouldn't say ignorance, but they were pardon my word, that is the truth. I mean, we are going for a battle, we are going for election, and you are telling the whole world, including those you are going to box with, what your plans are, what you intend doing. It should be told to the delegates, like I'm doing. I go to the delegates and tell them, these are the situations, and these are what we can do to solve it. And this is what you need to do, and this is what Britain needs to do, and this is what national needs to do, and this is what government needs to do. And that is how you win elections. But you don't go on radio or go on demonstration and expect solutions. Those don't bring solutions.
Looking at the stiff opposition you're facing, what do you feel your chances are of retaining your spot, especially as others feel your crop of leaders have not performed?
I don't know the yardstick, what they used to do, measure the performance they talk about. But they may think, they may say, everybody may have a different view. But I know that we are on course. I know that we have delivered. I know that we did everything that every person, every position holding person will want to do. And yes, some were successful, some there were challenges. But I can tell you, what we did is better than what we were seeing before we came to power. Before I joined the national office. Things that we are seeing today were not there, but today they are there. And it's because you, the delegates or party people, sent us there. I told you I've been a polling station chairman before, so I know the needs of the polling station officers. I've been a constituency chairman before. I know how constituencies are managed. I know the feeling, the mindset of the constituency officers, and I know what they need to perform. And that is what I've been focusing on, to make sure they are resourced and...
So as far as you are concerned, you know you will retain your spot. You are sure you will retain your spot.
I know by the grace of God and delegates, I will be retained. And, our vice chairman, when it comes to the vice chairmanship position, we all vie for vice chairman. And whoever gets the most votes or whoever wins.
Right, so first, second, and in that order.
Becomes second, becomes the second vice, and whoever is third becomes the third vice. And there are 10 people filing or applying for this same position. And I know that definitely I'll be among the three by the grace of God and delegates. They say peer delegates, but me, I trust them. I love them. I believe in them. I trust on their judgment and their ability to choose the best people to lead them. Yes, people are talking, people are making noise, but it's not the noise. It's not about the noise. You mark it.
Okay.
Those who are making noise and attempting to suggest that delegates don't know what it is, what time it is, that they are telling people that they will come and feed them and then give them salaries and give them. They know that we have heard it all. Democracy is growing. Come out with better systems and structures that will help improve people's lives.
Right.
Set up a system that will help to improve and improve the health of the party in constituency. That's what the people are looking. What will we do? What did we do the last elections? And what will we do different?
Okay.
That will give us the results that we need to win, that we need to bring the aid. That is
Right.
what we should be talking about, and not be talking about ourselves and attacking.
And it is on that very point that we're going to wrap the conversation. On that very point. Two quick things to look at. The economy vis-a-vis the performance of the MPP administration, especially in the second term. So, can the MPP break the eight on the back of the economic turmoil, on the back of the alleged corruption, on the back of the suffering that people say they are facing? Can the MPP break the eight?
The good thing is the people of Ghana, and you see, we are very open and transparent. We explain things to people. We let people know the situation on the ground. Then the people understand us. Currently, we are in crisis because of the COVID and because of Ukraine. Petrol price is not controlled by Ghana, and I know you know. But people try to do propaganda that we are increasing petrol. Meanwhile, the past administration came out with those laws that says we cannot, no government should not touch prices, but it's the importers. They liberalize the system. And if you are coming back to tell us that Ghana, Akakpo is increasing petrol, it is not true. We are bound to win. And we're going to do everything within our means to get victory delivered to the good people of Ghana and the FPP. And you know, we are very open. I know the concerns of people. It's about our people. The concerns are the openness and the frankness of our people attempting to give a free, equal opportunity to every Ghanaian. And that party people we are not being focused. We are not getting focused on party people, apparatives. We are allowing everybody to benefit or enjoy. I know the concerns, but we look at all that, and then before we get the elections, things that needs to be taken care of. You see, I keep saying that I don't know whether you know why or what informed citizens to vote this way or that way by Ghanaians. Why do people vote, and why do they vote for this political party or that political party? I mean, if we are able to think through it, is it the roads that we do? Is it the water that we provide? Is it the schools that we build? Is it the free SHS? Is it the one district, one factory? Is it the one village, one dam? Or is it propaganda?
All right.
If we're able to scale through it, and I want you to start asking political scientists, those who you have been interviewing, ask them why do people vote and vote the way they vote?
Right.
And let's find when you listen and they tell you, you understand what or why some political parties win and some don't win, and why people get voted and some don't get voted. You should look at that. At the end, any person has to talk about Ghana. Why do people vote?
Right.
Why should you?
So
and I am telling you, when you have answers to all this one, you will know that you are winning or you are losing.
okay.
But if you don't know based on what people vote, then you will be talking like some people do. But I know that for what government is doing and what party, the ruling party is also going to play, we are poised to win, to break the eight. No matter the challenge.
This is where we'll have to draw the curtains on the conversation. But Mr. Wadie, we are grateful that you took the time to join us, and we wish you the best on this journey of retaining your position. That is Michael Omari Wadie. He is first vice chairman of the New Patriotic Party. And of course, there'll be a number of them vying for that, just about 10 people vying for that position. And he's hoping to be retained as one of the national vice chair people, the first three. If he is the first national vice chairman, all the better. But we'll continue hosting those from the MPP as they vie for their respective slots. But on that note, I would have to say goodbye to you. Thank you so much for joining us for this Thursday morning. Look forward to my blunt thoughts tomorrow morning. But up next, we have Joy News Desk, and we'll be bringing you more by way of news. Have a good day.